Bam. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome into the top of the bleachers. We are live on September 27th, 2024. Today, we're going to preview some of the Arkansas Texas A&M game. You question my date. It is the 27th. Yes, it is.
Phil,
Before we do, though, be sure to hit that like and subscribe buttons. We really appreciate that. What's that? You
I
off a
feel
day?
like I feel like it's somebody's birthday today, and I'm supposed to remember it. September 27th, for some reason, is really sticking in my head.
There are some September birthdays. Isn't your
Yeah,
brother's birthday in
yeah.
September?
His is the 17th.
Okay.
You know how he celebrated his birthday? He took me out to play golf and bought me dinner. That's how you should celebrate your birthday.
Wow.
Spend your time with other people.
You have a cool brother.
Yeah, I made sure not to bring up the fact it was his birthday all day long. I mean, I purposely didn't bring it up.
Okay. Oh, well. I'm sure he didn't want to be reminded anyway. He's like
Oh,
77. He's not quite that old, but he's a few years older than us.
I think next year it's the double nickel, man. I think next year he hits the double nickel.
Jeez, that's
Yeah.
crazy. How did we get this old so fast?
No.
Anyway, so last night, man, Giants Cowboys.
Giants Cowboys. Yep.
What did you think? What'd you think, man? Looked like way closer than it should have been. I've got some injuries too. Parsons and Lawrence both got some injuries going on. What'd you think? What'd you think about the game?
Uh that was the worst refereed ball game I've ever seen in my life. There must have been 25 flags in the first. I mean, at some point the refs have to back off and say, "Okay, let's let them play a little bit." Holy crap, every play a flag would come out. And I'm not
Oh,
just complaining because the Cowboys got more flags than the Giants. Giants had a crap ton of flags too. It just okay, there's no flow to the game.
yeah,
Constantly going to review something or going to commercial because of injury or uh
yeah.
you know, it just
It was
it was a
sloppy.
yeah, it was not a fun ball game to watch. It was not a good Thursday night product. I hope the NFL is listening. And to the point that at halftime, I went over. I got a buddy named Travis, and he needed help with his dryer. So I went over. He's got a stackable one, so I had to help him pull it off the top, so he
Mm,
can work on it. I didn't have to do any work on it. I just had to help him pull it off the top. So he's a Cowboys fan too. So I went over right before the game. We pulled the dryer off, and then we sat around and ate junk food and watched the Cowboys game.
there you go.
And I even told him at half, I was like, surely somebody will say something to the refs at halftime. Like, hey guys, maybe that was too many flags in the first half. No, they come out in the second half, whoop, 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 everywhere. It was like they were having a contest. The guy down on the back judge is like, well, you know what? I haven't thrown one today. Foop, I'll throw one. It was terrible. I mean, Cowboys get the win. Uh, all the Giants could do, defense stepped up this ball game, kept them to just kicking field goals. They didn't get in the end zone one time.
Yeah,
Uh, Aubrey missed a field goal. That surprised me. That would have gave us an 8-point lead, and I would have felt a lot better. I did.
yeah.
I did.
Oh,
Somebody just pulled in the garage. Hey, hush. Uh,
good dogs.
yeah, it was just a sloppy, terrible game, man. And it was,
Yeah,
I wasn't real thrilled with the plays at the end of the game. I'm a run the ball guy. I am a run the ball guy. And you're trying to milk the clock, and I understand that. But when you got that first down and you still had to get one more first down, okay, you got the defense. They are sold out on the run. It's
yeah,
perfect time for a play action bomb, touchdown, put the game out of reach. But instead, we run the ball and we make them use their timeouts and all that stuff. And
yeah.
it was just I don't want to say boring, but it was
It kind
not
of was.
it was not very entertaining, and it was mainly the ref's fault. There was no flow to the game whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean both quarterbacks were pretty accurate. I mean, as far as percentage
Yeah,
wise goes, and
Jones had a good game, man. I mean, when you give him a little bit of time back there to throw, the kid does a good job.
yeah,
It's just he doesn't.
yeah.
I tease all the time that I think he looks like Romo's love child, and he kind of plays like Romo too. He just can't seem to get over the hump,
Yeah,
whatever that hump is.
yeah.
So
Well, CD and Ferguson both had 7 catches.
yeah, well, Neighbors
Yeah,
had like
yeah,
10,
yeah. He had 12.
12. He
Robinson,
ended up with 12. Did you see the play where he knocked himself out?
yeah, he's concussed. I
Yeah,
saw.
dude.
Yeah,
I was watching with Travis, and I was like, Travis, like, he's not moving, man. He's like, that didn't look like that bad of a hit. And then we watched it in replay, and I had to watch it twice in replay before I figured out what happened. I said, he smacked his head on the ground. Like
yeah,
he dove for the ball and he smacks his head on the ground first thing and just
yeah,
knocks himself out. And
yeah,
then they go back to him and he's sitting up and you can see in his eyes he don't know where he's at or anything. And Travis goes, "Yeah, yeah, I think he knocked himself out." And I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah."
Yeah, he did. He was. I saw he's in concussion protocol today.
What about Parsons? Have they said what's going on there, or they haven't even probably given an update yet? Have they?
I think I want to. I think I saw a high ankle sprain. I did
Well,
see something
he
where
got
Lawrence's injury was supposed to be worse than Micah's. So I don't know about that. They didn't say. I didn't see what.
well, Micah, the play. Did you see the play he got injured on? He
Mm-mm.
was he was trying to pass rush, and he had a lineman roll up on the back of his leg, and that's
Mm.
so I was worried that out for the season or something like that, especially when they put him on the cart and carted
Yeah,
him out.
I saw him leave it on the cart. Yeah, high ankle sprain is what they're saying.
Apparent,
Those are hard to come back from, though. So from what I hear,
I've done just about everything to your ankles that can possibly be done to your ankles.
no
Uh,
kid.
and that's a tough one, especially in the position that he plays, because you have to use so much leverage and
Yeah,
strength in your legs and everything. That's going to be tough on him, man.
for sure.
We got a 10-day, in between before we have to play again. We don't play again until Sunday night or Sunday sometimes. So we got 10 days off.
Nice.
So I don't know if he can get back in that amount of time. We might have to play a game without him, maybe two. Who knows?
I don't even know who you got up next. Let me see here.
I don't I don't
Let's
like
see.
to look ahead yet. I'm still enjoying the win from last night.
You got the Steelers on Monday night, looks like, or Sunday night.
Sunday night.
10-6, whatever day that is. Uh, that's a Sunday night.
Okay. Oh, that'll be good. Chris Collinsworth. Oh, I'll enjoy that one. That was another thing I did not like about the game. Kirk Herbstreit. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Less is more. Okay.
I like
I
Kurt.
He talks constantly and he tells you exactly what happened in the play that I just watched. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't need this. I just watched the play, you know. I like the way that I like the way Troy does it. I like the way that Brady does it. Like he'll go back to the play, but he'll single out a player and be like, "Oh, look at what this player did," instead of just Kurt just gave you a narrative of what happened. Yeah, this guy got the ball and ran left and ran behind this other guy, and he got first down. There you go. I just saw that. I don't need you to tell me what just happened.
I like Kurt. He's cool. Yeah. Well, they got the win anyway, and we'll see how they do next week. The other thing I was going to tell you about was did you know who Christine Brennan is? Have you the USA reporter? She's pretty. I didn't recognize the name, and I saw a picture of her, and I was like, I know who that lady is. Um, she's been around quite a while. But anyway, she's apparently follows Caitlin Clark around mainly. She's planning on writing a book about her. Um, specifically covers Caitlin Clark. Okay.
Okay.
And then there was a play where DeJounte Carrington, was going for a loose ball or whatever and hit Caitlin in the eye. She got like a black eye or whatever from it. And this reporter, Christine Brennan, is in kind of hot water now because some of the questions that she asked. I don't know if there's necessarily anything wrong with these questions. You tell me, but she asked DeJounte, when you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye?
Yes. Yes. I meant to smack that bitch right in the face. Is that what she said?
That's not what she said. No. No, of course she said, that's not the kind of player I am. Of course I didn't do that on purpose. Why would you even ask that question? I'm confused by your questioning, basically, is what she said. And then Brennan went on to suggest that Carrington and her teammate, Marina Mabry, were laughing and celebrating Clark's injury later in the game. So,
did Caitlin continue to play or was she out?
She didn't. She played in the game.
Okay.
I don't even know if there was a foul called or not. I don't remember the play itself. I don't remember the game itself, but I don't even know if there was a foul called. So, but
we're in the playoffs, right?
We are in the playoffs.
WNBA's in the playoffs. I mean, this is playoff basketball. This is a player trying to get a basketball, and she smacked somebody else in the face. I mean, it happens all the time. Go back and watch how the Detroit Pistons treated Michael Jordan. I mean, rough play is rough play. Sometimes you get hurt in basketball. It's not a non-contact sport. Lots of people think it is a non-contact sport, but it is not a non-contact sport.
Yep. Well, the WNPA, the WNBA's
Players
Association, accused Brennan of attempting to, quote, bait a professional athlete into participating in a narrative that is false and designed to feel racist, homophobic, and misogynistic. I can't say it. Vitriol.
Misogynist.
There you go. On social media.
Okay.
Instead of demonstrating the cornerstones of journalism ethics like integrity, objectivity, and a fundamental commitment to the truth, you've chosen to be indecent and downright insincere.
When did journalists get ethics? When did that happen? Journalists are supposed to have ethics? I've never seen a journalist with ethics.
It's true, but why is this that I don't understand how that is a racist or homophobic or
it could be racist because she's black and Caitlin's white. Okay, maybe by a long shot. I don't get the homophobic and I don't get the misogynist. It was a woman against a woman who's being asked about it by a woman. So I don't know where the misogyny comes in.
Yeah.
But and I think this is I don't think it's out of line for a journalist to ask a stupid question. If you ever watch SEC media days, journalists ask stupid questions all the time, and coaches tell them that they're stupid questions. And that's the way that this girl should have approached it. Instead of saying, I'm confused by your question, she should have said, are you stupid? I imagine that there are some women in the NBA, WNBA, that are jealous of Caitlin Clark, but I don't think they're so dumb that they would purposely injure somebody who puts butts in the seats and helps them get paid. Like, these girls are going to start getting paid good money soon because they're filling up arenas. And the more teams that they bring in, they're already bringing in 2 more teams. The more teams they bring in, the more revenues there's going to be, the higher the salaries are going to be.
Yeah.
So you got to put your jealousy aside. What's something that is always said in professional sports? It's a business. This is a business first.
Yeah. The only one I've seen yelling racism stuff is Angel Reese. She's her accusations against everybody in the world that she gets hate mail and people, racist stuff all the time, which she probably does.
She probably does.
A lot of professional athletes probably do, but they don't blast it all over Twitter or wherever complaining about it either. So
Well, it's
I don't
also
know.
when I feel like when you complain, and I I'm not black, okay? I'm a white dude, so I'm not even allowed to talk about racist stuff. But here we go. When when they send you hate mail and when they call you names and then you blast it out on Twitter or you say something to the media about it or something like that, all
Mhm.
you're doing is giving those people a voice that they wanted in the first place. And it's hard to do, but the best thing to do is just freaking ignore it.
Yeah, that would be hard to do.
Oscar Robertson's got a great little documentary, or he's part of a one of those 30 for 30s. I can't remember what it's called, but he talks about you're talking about a man that played when black people weren't allowed to get on the court, and he heard things said
Yeah,
to him, and he would smile at them and score 30 points and beat their favorite team and go home with a grin on his face
yeah.
because that
Well, there's just
was
so
the
many people trying to pull that racist narrative. USA came out and said we reject the notion that the interview perpetrated any other narrative other than to get the player's perspective directly, and that comes from the executive director Roxanne Scott.
yeah. It's just like
So,
it's overused, like
mm,
and the more that it's overused, the more that the race card is used in situations, the less it becomes effective. It's like the boy who cried wolf. You know, people become insensitive to it. It doesn't make the kind of impact that it used to make because everybody in the world is claiming that, oh, this is racist, this is racist, this is racist. It's
yeah,
like it's like saying
it's
the word.
hard. It's
Yeah.
hard being. I don't know. Like you said, I'm not black either, so it's hard to relate in a lot of ways. And I have several African American friends, and we've talked about this kind of stuff, and they've been honest with me about it. I mean, so a lot of them joke, they joke about stuff, just like they joke about it sometimes too. It's not just always serious. So
Here's everybody always wants to cure racism, and I have the cure for racism, and it's real simple. It's real simple. Okay. Don't be a racist. Okay. You can only control yourself. You can't control other people. Okay.
yeah,
You can hold up your sign that says racism's bad and march up and down the street. And if a racist walks by you, he's not going to look at your sign and suddenly have a turn of heart. Okay. Don't, if you're not a racist and you don't treat other people that way, then eventually racism will disappear from the world. Those
yeah.
people will die
In theory,
out.
in
In
theory.
theory, in theory. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, enough on that serious stuff. My goodness. Oh, I feel like we're talking politics again or something.
That was interesting. That was interesting. I don't know, man. I
We should
don't
have
think
some of our we should have some of our friends on to talk about it.
I don't uh
They'll come talk to us about it, I'm sure.
I don't know I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. I don't think I would have been a very good professional athlete when it came time to put the microphone in my face.
Well, a lot of people aren't.
I don't think that the media, I think I would end up getting the reputation of like a what was that guy's name? Arenas Gilbert or somebody like that. Somebody they didn't even want to interview because he was such a jerk. I feel like that's the kind of reputation I would end up with.
I could see that about you.
Yeah.
Just be like, "What's up, Ted? What's up, big nose Ted?" Yeah. What's up, receding hairline, Paul?
Yeah. Oh, why did I miss that shot and lose the game? I don't know. Why don't you ask your ugly wife? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see you being kind of mean about it.
It's just,
Um,
it's like you've given everything. And I don't really understand why they interview athletes anyway. Athletes are going to give you the, you know, well, we gave 110% out there. It was a team effort. I really felt like we gave it our all. They're not going to give you, you know,
yeah.
they're not going to give you any dirt. Like, oh, that guy said this to me, so I crossed him over and dunked on him. Or, they're not going to talk about that kind of stuff.
Probably not. I don't know. I get upset when people question my effort. I would imagine it would upset them as well. Like
Yeah.
obviously I'm trying hard. Like, why would you ask me that question? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying hard. Like, I missed the shot. Like,
Yeah.
what do we do? I'm not gonna make everyone.
I'm I'm not
So
I'm not going to have patience with, because if you ever watch the media too, they ask the same question 5 times. You know,
they do.
Another guy will stand up when you refuse to answer a question. You say, "Oh, I don't really want to talk about that. Let's move on." And then you call on the next guy, and he stands up and says, "Well, why don't you want to talk about that over there?"
Dude, Arkansas press conferences are the worst, man. There'll be a guy get up and he'll be like, "Yeah, so what we gonna do about the O line struggles?" And then he'll talk for 10 minutes on it. The next guy hops up. Yeah, what are we gonna do about these O line struggles? Like,
Were you not just listening?
bro, why are you asking the same questions? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. Anyway, um, speaking of Arkansas, let's get into this game preview here. Arkansas, Texas A&M, the Southwest Classic. This is the last one at AT&T Stadium before they go back to home and away, or if we even, I don't even know if we're going to play. It's been on the schedules, I guess, next year. But A&M, they're 3-1. They lost to Notre Dame to start the season. Well, they've had 3 out of 4 home games as well. Okay. They went to Florida. That's their only true road win. And then they won at home against McNeese. And then they won at home against Bowling Green.
And they lost at home to Notre Dame.
They lost at home to Notre Dame. Yes, that's their other home game.
Yeah.
So they got some quarterback issues. Their starting quarterback got hurt, or is questionable. Well, he's listed as out right now. Of course, they give their injury reports like up to an hour before the game or something like that. So I guess that could technically change. They're saying that he might play or whatever, but if he doesn't, you got Marcel Reed is your starting quarterback. Did you watch any stuff on this guy?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, any good?
He's a two-way threat guy. He can run. He's
Okay.
He's an athlete.
That has given Arkansas problems in the past.
He is an athlete for sure. He's a redshirt freshman, so he's
Oh,
young.
okay. All right. So we're looking for some mistakes like old Brown did down in Auburn. We're
Yeah,
going.
not super accurate. The passing game, they haven't had an over 200 yards in any game, any of the 3 games that he's played in. So not a lot of yards. He's thrown for 4 touchdowns. He's only like 56%. So,
Okay.
like I said, not a real high completion rate, but probably more like average, I'd say. Yeah, this guy could beat us with his legs, though. For real, he's that kind of athlete. Like I was watching some of his and he got a good arm too. He's just an athlete.
Sounds a lot like Taylon Green, except Taylon puts up more yardage passing, which I don't know. I
I
don't
would
know how.
see that. Yeah,
When it comes to Texas A&M, I only usually look at one side of the ball, and that's the defensive side of the ball. They have a history of being a defensive team. I mean, when you got people like Miles Garrett who went there and stuff like that. So,
yeah, Von Miller.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not really. This sounds so arrogant, and You can take it that way if you want. I don't care, but I'm not really that worried about Texas A&M.
Uh,
Auburn worried me more than Texas A&M worries me.
uh, I'm worried. I ain't
I
never not
think,
worried.
yeah, yeah.
I'll
I
be
think,
worried when we play Law Tech.
yeah. Well, yeah, that'll probably be the one for number 6 or something.
Yeah.
Uh, I did read that we have a defensive lineman, Cameron Ball,
Mm-hmm.
was picked as one of 52 FBS players
Okay.
named to the Jason Witten Collegiate Man of the Year Award watch
Mm,
list.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that was some good news today. I also saw somewhere that we get some injury guys back.
I think Hudson Clark's going to be back
Oh, dude, that's going to help our secondary out a lot.
for sure. I know A&M is missing one of their DBs. Supposed to be pretty good. He's listed as out right now.
How do
Then
you
they got
not go ahead?
Le'Veon Moss
Yeah.
is their running back. Cyrus Allen is their leading receiver right now. Again, nothing real potent on offense. They seem to really struggle against Bowling Green. Their offensive line really struggled against Bowling Green. But like I said, Marcel Reed can get out of trouble. You know what I mean? So he helped them in that way for sure, being more agile. But again, not I don't know, man. A&M is kind of weird. It's like they could be really good. They might not be very good. I don't know yet.
I think they're on the same level as us and Auburn, and like I feel like us, Texas A&M, Auburn, and there was another one in there too that I thought of.
Mississippi State,
No,
Vandy.
no, no, no. Those are I was talking about like the middle of the SEC.
Mm,
I feel like that's where we're at. I feel like we're going to end up at the end of the year. We'll be in the middle somewhere, and I feel like the Auburn and Texas A&M will be there with us. I don't know about Vandy. I don't know about Vandy. Vandy's a tough cookie to crack this year, man. I
yeah.
really want them to do well, but they gave that ball game away at the end to Missouri.
Hmm. Well, this is a big game for honestly a big game for both A&M and Arkansas. I was looking at the rest of A&M schedule,
Mm-hmm.
right? If they get this win here, they don't have a lot left on their schedule. I mean, the two major ones I think I saw were Missouri and Texas, maybe. Yeah, Missouri and Texas are really the only two that left on their schedule that I thought that those might be a tougher game for them. But everybody else was like, they should probably if they beat Arkansas, they should win the rest of these games.
If they
So
do step up and beat us, I feel like it's going to be like that OSU game. Like we're going to hand it to them. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if we go in and play a clean ball game and we actually
yeah,
do what we're supposed to do, I feel like we should win that ball game. I really do. And it for us, I feel like it's a really
it
one that
is.
we need
It
because
is.
we got like Murderers
Yeah.
Row coming up, man.
We got 4 games after this one that are winnable,
We got
in my opinion.
we got Tennessee at home, and then we got LSU at home, and then we
Mhm.
get kind of a break, and we play Mississippi State, and then we got to play Ole Miss and Texas.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think there's 4 games left: LSU, Mississippi State, La Tech, and Missouri. Those are 4 I would consider winnable. So if we get A&M, that gets us to 4. We just need 2 of those 4 games. I think that's possible.
I'm still drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I say 8-4 by the end of the year.
It's hard because, like you said, we play these harder teams fixing to come up, and they're going to beat the freaking crap out of us as far as physical. Like those are going to be physical games. You know what I mean?
We're getting
Um,
okay. You are correct. You are correct. They
so
are
I don't
going to
want to.
beat the
I don't
crap
want to
out of
get
us.
to Mississippi State and be like so decimated by injuries and stuff that we can't compete because we don't have a
But
lot of depth. You know what I mean?
but the same thing could happen to one of those really good teams that we're going to play later in the season. Like we could get to Ole Miss and Texas, and they could be beat up and
Yeah,
down to like we're playing Texas A&M. We're already playing their second string quarterback.
yeah.
You
You know
know,
what? I went looking a while ago trying to find a depth chart, and every depth chart I could find, they had him listed as the third quarterback.
hmm, probably because he was a red shirt.
I guess. I don't know. I thought
Hmm.
that was interesting though. So he may not even be their backup. He may be their third string quarterback.
Well,
He
either
looked
way,
he, he
we're
looks
not going
decent.
in. Yeah, either way, we're not going in against their starter.
No, and their starters, of course, their starter was Bobby Petrino kid, and
Oh, really?
was pretty good last year. This year he struggled. You know, of course, they lost to Notre Dame. He played in that game, right? I think he got that's the one he got hurt in, and then the other kid's been playing the last three. So anyway, what do you think? Let me ask you some questions here. Then,
All right.
what do you think? What's your keys to the game? Let's say, what's your top two keys to the game? What do we got to do to win?
We got to set the edge. Okay, on defense, if he's a running quarterback, we have to set the edge. We have to contain him, make him throw the ball. You already said he was inaccurate, so let's make him throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Let's set the edge and not let him get outside.
Uh,
Number two, no turnovers. We can't have any turnovers in this ball game. We got to play a clean ball game.
yep, I agree with that.
We do those two things. We walk out of Jerry World with the Southwest Trophy, never to come back again.
Yeah, I think our
Maybe a
secondary,
maybe a bowl game someday or something like that. We
I
might go
think
back.
our front seven, I think we're going to have to stop the run. I think it's going to be a lot like Oklahoma State. We're going to have to stop the run and not make any mistakes, man. We cannot keep making mistakes, turn the ball over, fumbles, bad snaps, muff punts. Like we
What
can't have
I
any of that stuff happen.
Yeah, my dream scenario is we get we defer. Okay, we win the coin toss, we defer.
Yeah.
3 and out, and then offense drives down the field, puts 7 on the board, and we keep the lead for the rest of the ball game.
Well, that'd be nice. I hope so.
Well, I
We'll
mean,
see.
I'm not saying that Texas A&M won't put up a field goal or a touchdown here and there, but we need to put the first points on the board, and they need to be trying to catch us the whole game instead of us trying to catch up with them.
Yeah.
They need to be playing behind us because if they've got a red shirt freshman quarterback in there and he's feeling the pressure and time on the clock is going out and he feels like he's got to make a play, that's
Yeah.
where mistakes happen and that's where you capitalize.
I feel like we really got to run the ball too. Their D line is supposed to be one of their strengths. Um, so I really feel like we're gonna have to block and be able to run the ball as well.
I don't think that we'll have
So
a I don't think we'll have a trouble running the ball. It just depends on who's going to be running it. Like, is Jackson going to find some creases, or are we going to have to put Talon out on a bootleg or something and let him use his legs or something like that?
I bet we see both.
I hope so. I hope they
Yeah,
go crazy.
I like it when they roll him out. To be honest, it's I like
He
that
seems
option.
he seems to be a tad bit more accurate when he's on the run. Uh,
I just like
I
to
don't.
give him the option. If it's not there, there's all that green open.
Yeah.
Just run it. Run it,
And
bro.
he's Matt Jones deceptively fast. Like he doesn't look like he's running that fast. And the next thing you know, he's like 20 yards down the field.
Yeah, he gets a lot of comparisons to Matt Jones for sure. All right, well, it sounds like we're both picking Arkansas, so I'm
Well,
not surprised.
I can't go against my Hogs yet. It's going to be really hard to pick them in the next ball game. It's going to be really tough to pick them in the next ball game,
Yeah,
especially
Tennessee,
if
right?
especially if I want to be right. I could just be a homer and just pick Arkansas, I mean, but Tennessee, we get them at home,
Yeah,
But I just
It's,
don't think we have the defense, and I don't think we can keep up with them point wise.
yeah, they're saying if we win this game, if we beat A&M, which will put us at 4-1, then they're saying that game day may be coming to Fayetteville. I don't know if
Every
I want all that attention.
I don't want all that attention. Every time the Hogs get put on ESPN or national TV on CBS and
Yeah,
prime time game, we end up crapping the bed every time. It seems like.
I don't know why put us up against Tennessee. You know, what I mean,
Yeah,
come
why don't
on.
you show the Southwest Classic? Game day needs to come down to Jerry World and do the Southwest Classic. We got a good shot in
That's
that
true.
one.
That's true. They do. They
It's so
should.
they can show up and slobber all over Tennessee. It's so
It
they can
is.
show up and slobber all over Tennessee.
Yeah, basically. And because of our record, they're going to think that we're decent.
Well, there's a big difference between decent and good. I think we are decent. I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't think we're good. Not yet.
Mm.
I think we could be by
Mm.
the end of the year if everything,
If we stay healthy and not make mistakes, that's the
yeah.
thing. All right, man. Well, anything else before we get out of here? Anything else?
No, I can't think of anything, man.
No.
It's been a long week. I feel like it's been a really long week.
I do too. I'm glad it's Friday, and then we got tomorrow football. We got
I
football on
got
Sunday.
I got to hustle again tomorrow. They're kicking off at 2:30, so I gotta get on the ball in the morning, and I gotta hustle.
Yeah. You better hurry.
Last week, I was going to be done by 1:30.
Mm-mm.
And they kicked off at 2:30, and I was like, all right, awesome. I get to a certain point on my route and I can tell you what time I'm going to get done. Like when I get to the halfway point on my route, I can look at the clock and go, okay, I'm going to be done at such and such time.
Yeah.
Well, barring, car trouble or something like that. So I knew, oh man, I'm going to be off at 1:30. This is awesome. And then I get a call from the office. I had an express package come in.
No.
Express package is my responsibility. I have to come off my route, go to the office, pick up my express, come back out to my route, deliver the express, and then start my route back up. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Turned out to be cremated remains of some dude's dad.
Mm.
So now I've got to deliver cremated remains to somebody who's heartbroken, and they're going to want to talk for a little bit because they're heartbroken.
I'm like, here's your daddy.
Yeah. Go Hogs.
I gotta go.
But I ended up making it back, and the crazy thing is that nobody was home, so there was nobody there to accept the ashes. So I had to leave a notice and take it back to the post office. So I did all that for nothing, and I still made it home by kickoff.
All right, well, I'll check on you and see where you're at around 1:30. See how you're making it.
Hopefully, depending on how. Right now, we got a bunch of political mail coming out. You got the election coming up, so everybody and their brother is saying, "Oh, vote for me, vote for me." And you know what you were saying the other day about the casino thing, and how one commercial said one thing, and then when another commercial said another thing.
Yeah. Where the money's going.
Yeah, I delivered two. We call them mailers. It's just a little sheet of glossy paper that the candidate or whatever, and one says, "Vote for Prop 2," and then the one that I delivered right behind it said, "Don't vote for Prop 2."
That's about how it is.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, like we always do before we get out of here, let's remind everyone that if you're struggling with your mental health or know someone who is, there is a national hotline that you can call, 988, and they have someone on there that will talk to you, or whatever you may need. Someone to reach out to for a minute, or you can point someone else there. And September is National Suicide Prevention Month, so it's a little more serious this month too. Plus, we're coming into the holidays, which is always seems to be harder for people. So if you're struggling, reach out. Don't do life alone.
Amen, brother. I couldn't have said it better. An encouraging word or just a check-in, an invite to dinner, something like that can make a world of difference in somebody's life. You wouldn't think so, but it can. So spread that number around, 988, and if you need it, use it.
Yep. All right, man. I appreciate everybody for listening and tuning in and watching, and be sure and hit that like and subscribe button for us. We appreciate that, and I will catch you next week, man. Peace out.
Peace. Go Hogs.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.